Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. I am sorry for those who watch live that I am late. A few minutes late. Good Lord. First day home, and I cannot seem to gather myself. I just started vegging, and poof, totally forgot. I sort of have a subject today, or I had one, but I think I'm going to save it for tomorrow because I want to do a little bit more, put more thought into it. So, good morning, T. But yeah, so I'm just going to go with the mindful messages cards today. You know, all of these perspectives are really just kind of off the cuff. I'm actually really lucky when my brain decides to have a subject. You know, there are things that I get very passionate about, and I saw a movie over the weekend that older sibling had me watch that I think really deserves more thought and time to the subject. So, and it's a sensitive subject, you know, but I think it'll be okay. I really think it'll be okay. So, yeah, I'm just going to shuffle some of these mindful messages cards to start with. Good morning, older sibling. Actually, for today's Hodgepodge, because it's Hodgepodge, right? So, okay, I guess that's it. Maybe one more shuffle. Let's see what happens. Nope, that's it. Those bazillion cards that just popped out are it. But before we get started on those, while I wait for more people to pop on, I do have the Rebel deck again today. I've missed this deck. And we have the Actions of Aloha deck, which we'll also do because in my rush to leave, I forgot about it. So this is my actual background, my actual setting where I normally do my perspectives at. Of course, the minute I hit play, or hit live, my nose starts running. Good Lord. It's Monday. I was talking to my Echo Dot this morning because I was asking her, you know, the weather, and she was promoting a movie, so I was like, hey, what's that movie about? And then she tells me Happy Monday, so I tell her Happy Monday back, and she says, it's Monday, let's just skip till Friday. So for all you 9-to-5 people, the big A over there is sitting there saying, yeah, let's just skip to Friday. All right, one more shuffle and then we'll get rolling of the Aloha deck, my Aloha deck, the Aloha Perspective deck. I think I'm going to make another one, like add on to this one. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Move those out of the way. Whew, lots of messages today. Oh, here comes the earworm. The beautiful balloon. Lift yourself up. Don't be afraid to rise to your highest heights. Be spectacular as you soar up and away in your beautiful balloon. The fifth dimension has a lot to say about that, right? That's a group. And, you know, I guess it's also the fifth dimension, but it's a group. Excuse my hair today. You know what? I'm not going to apologize. Baby sibling would kick my ass if she heard me apologizing. So, you get what you get. Get what you get. Okay? And I'm not ashamed of that. So, my hair is just kind of doing whatever it wants to do anyways. Ooh, the peace sign. Where ignorance is our master, there is no possibility of real peace. The Dalai Lama. Where ignorance is our master, there is no possibility of real peace. I actually like that one. I think we're going to hold that one aside for a bit and maybe talk a little bit about that. See, sometimes your perspective can come out of anywhere. The hibiscus. Love the hibiscus. In Hawaii, the hibiscus often represents youth. Youth is happy because it has the capacity to see beauty. Anyone who keeps this ability to see beauty never grows old. Franz Kafka. So again, youth is happy because it has the capacity to see beauty. Anyone who keeps this ability to see beauty never grows old. That card is simply telling you, don't be jaded by life. Don't be jaded by other people's beliefs. You know, if you say something's pretty and somebody comes along and says, ew, what are you looking at? You know, like maybe you're looking at art, right? And so, you know, a lot of people don't understand art, and a lot of people do. And then there's the rest of us in between who aren't really sure we understand it, but we appreciate it, right? And so we're just kind of in awe that somebody actually created something so amazing that you can't stop staring at it. And even if you're trying to figure out what it is, I mean, a lot of times I think it's just everything is open to interpretation, right? I mean, the artist may have one idea what it's supposed to look like, but you may see like a billion different things in it. That's appreciating it. And as children, we see things, but then someone will come along and, you know, maybe it's because we want to be liked or we want to be seen or we don't want to be invisible anymore. And we'll say, wow, that's really cool. That's stupid. Yeah, you're right. I don't know what I was thinking. March to the beat of your own drum. Okay? March to the beat of your own drum. Don't be limited by other people's beliefs. It's one of my favorite sayings. Fell out of my face. Don't know if it came from somewhere or if somebody's already said it, but I do know that it fell out of my face a few weeks ago, months ago, whatever it was. And to this day, it is something I still like to say. Do not be limited by other people's beliefs. Okay? If you stand your ground, they may actually start to see what you're seeing, or they may actually start to see a different interpretation and say, huh, you know what? Now that I'm looking at it again, who knows, right? So good morning, baby sibling. Ah, the toucan. The toucan. Communication, showy, showmanship, need to be seen, good fortune or luck. Oh, good luck. All right. And good fortune. It is time to step out of the shadows and be seen. Let yourself shine. Stage fright, fear of public speaking, call upon the toucan totem to see you through, right? Chirp away, my friends. Be the bird and chirp away. So, live free. Live free. Like the ticos and ticas of Costa Rica, the path to no stress, no fuss, and no worries is to live within gratitude and not dwell in the negative. That kind of goes with the hibiscus, right? You know, when you're a child, you see the beauty in everything until people's views on things start to jade you and limit your beliefs. So, when somebody does that to you, live within gratitude and do not dwell in the negative. You could always say, if you don't want to try to convince somebody, I mean, you really shouldn't try to convince somebody because it's going to be their option if they want to believe something or not. But you could stand up for yourself and say, you know what? I don't know what you're seeing, but I'm seeing something completely different because I do think this is amazing. So, you know, like I said, stand your ground. Ooh, the coconut. The coconut. Coconut meaning, considered a fruit of the gods. When one smashes a coconut, it is the equivalent of smashing the ego, which gives way to inner purity and knowledge, symbolized by the white fruit. Let go of fear and embrace your life. I feel like this card is talking to me. Let go of fear and embrace your life. Enjoy it, right? Sit down, have a pina colada. You know, who doesn't want to drink a fancy beverage, adult beverage from a coconut? Right? Never done that. That's on my bucket list. I actually want to try that. I think it'd be kind of cool, actually. So there you go. Your coconut meaning. Oh, the pumpkin. Straight into fall. Pumpkin time. Gratitude, generosity, harvest, abundance, potential, creativity, autumn, fertility, love, wealth, and good luck. Carve out the path of your life's journey. It will be okay. No fear. That last part is for me. All right. Carve out the path of your life's journey. It will be okay. No fear. One of the things that I was talking about last week was when I was talking about the Floof book, starting 2.0, Floof 2.0, right? First book was Operation Feral Floof. This one's Operation Enlightened Floof. And it's my inner child, all right? She's tucked away nicely, she's tucked away nicely in my heart. I gave her a name because it's easier for me to relate to, you know, something that's painful that needs to be healed if you give it a cute name, right? I mean, like, what about those ferocious dogs, right? Well, they're not ferocious, but people think they're ferocious, and then you find out, oh, his name is Fluffy. Oh, well, like in Harry Potter, right? The three-headed dog, Fluffy. But anyway, it always goes back to Harry Potter, doesn't it? But you know, when it comes to this, have no fear. You know, fear is a liar and worry is its best friend. So remember that. Fear is a liar and worry is its best friend. You don't want to be friends with them. You do not want to be friends with them. And also, when I was just kind of sitting around after I got home this weekend, I was kind of like, you know, I started getting bombarded and really kind of pelted with these just negative thoughts. I mean, like just one thought after the other, just trying to penetrate my psyche and just kind of tear me down, rip me down. And I just sat there, and at one point I was just kind of like, ugh. I'm like, you know what? It takes more energy to be negative than it does to be positive. And it felt like a light just went off in my head, like something clicked, something snapped. And it was kind of like, huh. And I felt like I started to mentally ascend again, spiritually ascend, like some kind of invisible armor, like another layer of invisible armor just fell off of me, because I suddenly had this epiphany that it's easier to be positive than it is to be negative. Now, I had to work up to this, okay? Not everybody has to. I had to work up to being positive because I was resisting it all this time. And by resisting it, I was resisting, the good things that come with positivity, having a good mindset, having a belief that everything is going to be okay, not having that nagging, icky, feeling that feels like an anchor or a weight in the pit of your stomach. And I realized it was easier to be positive. Why have I been resisting all this time? Why have I been such a negative Nelly all this time? And I think a lot of times we just get trapped in that thought, right? We just get trapped in, well, nothing good can happen to me, and everybody says you got to do this, that, or the other for things to work out. Nothing is just handed to you. Well, in a way, nothing is just handed to you. But we look at that as being something in physical, like something tangible, right? Something you can hold on to or see or touch or feel. But when you're positive, things are being handed to you, because you're allowing that flow in. You're allowing the opportunities to come in. And, for those who don't want to look towards the metaphysical side, for those of you who are just, you are not metaphysically based, it's the same way. When you're in a good mood and you're doing well and you're mentally on your game and just vibing super high, haven't you noticed that good things start to happen? Maybe you get that job you wanted. Maybe you all of a sudden somebody says, hey, you know what? I got tickets to tonight's game. My boss can't go, blah, blah, blah. You want to go? And it might be a game that you've been wanting to go to, but couldn't get tickets to. Or maybe you couldn't afford the tickets to it. And somebody says, hey, you know what? Let's do this. And you're like, oh my gosh. It's not coincidence. You are bringing these things into your life. Now, I know some people like to believe in coincidence, which is fine. I'm not here to tell you what to believe and what not to believe. I'm just showing you that when you have positive vibes, when you have a vibration that is really kind of sparking up there, then, maybe it's trying to tell you something. Open your eyes and see what's happening around you. Maybe new people are coming into your life. Or maybe it could be something as simple as, getting a letter in the mail that just might make your day. I mean, who doesn't love mail? Like fun mail in the mail that's not a bill, right? Or something official or important. But something from someone that's just a random surprise. I can't tell you how many times it has happened to me when I've just kind of been all excited and super duper going forward and, just vibing high, and I'll get some random package in the mail from my friend in Georgia. And it's like, I did not expect that, but thank you, because it's like, it just kind of pushed me up even higher. Or there have been times too when I've been trying so hard to vibe high and I just can't seem to get that push I need. And that a package will arrive. So it's just fun to think about all the different things that can happen when you get out of your way, you let go of control, and you just let life unfold before you. Okay? So the next card, Volcano, Lava. I lava you. Have you seen that? Okay, it's on Disney Plus. It's one of the Pixar shorts. So cute. Makes me cry every time, but it gives me hope. So disruptive, angry, dangerous, yet beautiful and creative, like Pele, the volcano goddess of Hawaii. Disruptive, angry, dangerous, yet beautiful and creative. Well, I think she only gets mad if you piss her off, but but on the flip side, on the actual physical, scientific side, volcanoes are beautiful, but crazy. Tough moments in our lives can shape us or destroy us. The choice is up to you. Are you the mountain that blows its top or the lava that creates new land? It's your choice. Do you blow your top or do you create new things? And the Hawaiian Blessing. May there always be warmth in your hale, fish in your net, and aloha in your heart. Excuse me. Jeez, I start to pray and I can't talk. It's a Hawaiian blessing or prayer. May there always be warmth in your hale, which is your house. It's H-A-L-E. It's your house, your home. And fish in your net and aloha in your heart. Aloha in your heart. Okay? Aloha, compassion, empathy, love, hello, goodbye. All the beautiful things, right? So before we get to the mindful messages today, I pulled some. I've missed this deck. Can I tell you? I want to go back to this card. Okay? Where ignorance is our master, there is no possibility of real peace. People are probably saying, oh, what do you mean? We can't have real peace. That's the ignorance right there. As long as we find a reason to hate, to have hatred in this world, there is going to be no real peace. It's ignorance. Why are we so afraid of change? On a very smaller level, I have been afraid of change all my life because change means I'm not in control. But when you really step back and look at life, we've never been in control. We have never been in control. Every time we try to control something, you'll find that if it's meant to happen, it's going to happen anyway. Okay? It's kind of like, it's like that, oh, well, I've used that one a lot. So, well, it's just change in general, right? I mean, let's look at all the protests that have happened over the last several years, especially a few years ago. God, I can't believe it's been a few years ago this summer, right? But, a year or two ago, there were all these protests, everything going on, and then people just freaking out. It's change. Do I like the fact that people are destructive? No. But those are not generally the people that are protesting with the people protesting. The people who actually were out there protesting, trying to make a point, were actually peaceful demonstrations. Other people decide they're going to jump on and just destroy all of it, right? So what's basically happening is it's okay, this is going to sound weird, but it's kind of like the battle of good and evil, right? There's a balance. You have all these people who are protesting something that's important to them. They're doing it peacefully, they're marching, they're not doing any harm to anybody. Maybe they're blocking traffic, which can be annoying, I know. But then you have this other group come in, right? And I'm not placing names or titles on anybody. You just have some people that just feel, I don't have enough, so I want something, and I'm going to get what's mine, right? That's the mentality. I'm going to get what's mine. And so they start busting places up, they start stealing, they start taking, and what's happening? It's taking away from the message of what the people who are just regularly protesting are trying to make. It's a distraction. It's ignorance. But then you have the people on the outside who are looking in saying, well, fuck those people. But here's the thing. They're clumping them all together now. They're not separating them like they should be. They're saying, well, this happened and these people happened, so they must all be in cahoots together. No, that's generally not the case. In some places it may be, but for the most part, that is generally not the case. What's happening is you have a force outside coming in that is trying to destroy the peace and the change that people are trying to create. It's like this weird, it's an imbalance. Say you have like your good guy and your bad guy, right? And the good guy and the bad guy decide, hey, you know what? Why are we in the middle of the street about to do, a high noon gunfight, right? And so then they think, well, maybe we'll call it off. Let's sit down and talk to this. But then all of a sudden you got the guy who started the issue, right? And you got the guy who's trying to end the issue. And the two of them are sitting here talking, but then they have people yammering in their ears going, but. And then they start filling them with that anger again. They start filling them with that animosity again. And all of a sudden these two are like, you know what? Screw you. I think we should fight. Because there's always going to be that outside voice of ignorance. What we have to do is learn to separate what is one thing from another. You know, I mean, even when you watch the news, I mean, sibling watches the news a lot, so I'm kind of I'm a bystander to news. So, but you had a lot of these people protesting and saying, you know what? Those aren't our people. They're not with us. We don't want anything to do with them because they're taking away from our message. Then you have the same people saying, please stop because you're taking away from our message. But you have everyone in the background going, I don't give a shit what your message is. I just want mine. Right? I want mine and I'm going to get mine because it's mine. Well, it's not yours. It's somebody else's, but you're taking it. Karma has a funny way of working. All right? Karma will come by and it will slap you upside the head, whether it's in this life or the next. So if you're lucky, it's in this life because you want to carry that shit to the next life. If you have, if you believe in reincarnation and if you redo a life, you don't want that. You don't want to go there. All right. And I know I'm kind of stepping sideways and out of my lane in certain aspects of this, but this is what we need to think about. Why is change so scary? Why are we afraid of, what? Well, I think it's because we're afraid of what we don't know, what we can't see. I've been there. I know I say that a lot, right? I've been there. In the very short amount of time I've been on this planet, I've told you, I have had experiences that, I mean, when I go back and look at some of the stuff I've been through, some of the stuff I've survived, then some of the stuff I've been through, and some of the newer experiences I have, I think, holy crap. How am I only this age and done so much? How is it that I can do these perspectives and sit there and say, I know this, I understand this? Because no matter how I got to that point of understanding and needing to control everything in my life, there were a lot of us who've gotten there. And it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters in your healing how you got there. But what I'm saying is that when you're in that circle now, and you're trying to figure out, why can't I break this cycle of control? Why can't I just let go? Why can't I go with the flow? Because it's fear. And a lot of the fear comes from ignorance, not necessarily our own ignorance, but what people tell us. It's like the other card, about children and what they see and, what they can show us. Children are such amazing creatures to watch. You see them when they're really young, everybody's playing on the field, and then all of a sudden they start to get a little older and they start going into little groups, right? And that's okay, because these are usually their friends, usually the people who are in their inner circle. But if you end up in an inner circle where you have somebody who wants to be a bully, what happens? Everybody wants that person's, well, not everybody, but a lot of times, they'll start turning to that person and thinking, okay, that's our alpha, without even realizing it. And then they start acting that way. And that's what we need to stop. This is why, where ignorance is our master, there is no possibility of real peace. A lot of people roll their eyes when they hear a quote from the Dalai Lama. I am not a Buddhist. I am not, I don't particularly follow that religion, but I do like the Dalai Lama. It's just like people who aren't Catholic that love Pope John Paul II. Because they sit there and what they're trying to do is promote a peace. They're trying to share this view of what peace can be like, what understanding and loving one another can actually bring to our lives. Change doesn't remove anything from your life. It brings better things to your life. When I finally accepted the fact that I needed to change, and that I needed to, get out of this rut of consistently thinking negative, everything started to change. And I started to resist that because I was afraid, because I was no longer in control. And then very recently I realized I've never been in control. I have to tell you, the 2 times that my dad's been sick, the first time in November, and then these last 2 weeks when I was down there, just kind of, I would say half quarantining with him and half making sure that, you know, he had whatever he needed. And my father even still was so independent. It's like, I don't need, it's like, you know, okay, I'll just sit here and be company. And sometimes that's all the person needs, right? What is it that I sometimes say? Sometimes they just need someone there for reassurance. Sometimes they just need someone there to just be there, you know, the there moments, right? And but I've learned something. The first time my dad was sick, I started the Floof 1.0 book, right? The second time I was there, I started the second one. So hopefully he doesn't get sick anymore, because I've reached this point. But the point is I had time to get out of my head, into my soul and into my heart, and start looking even further in. And it wasn't about healing anything this time. That's what the first Floof book was about, right? It was about getting the rest of that gunk and icky and mucky stuff out. And it was like starting at the beginning again. And that was scary. And I didn't know how to jump off of that circle. And then T jumped in and said, hey, maybe it's this, that, or the other, right? And as it turns out, it was pretty much on the spot. We talked about how maybe I was afraid to move forward and be happy because my mom's not here anymore. You know, but it actually went deeper than that. It went a lot deeper than that. And my mom's story is not mine to share. But let's just say that in the long run, when it comes to, like, you know, emotional attachment and just, you know, knowing what your strength is and knowing this, that, and the other, that I would have to say that I think my mom would be very proud of me to know I've broken a lot of cycles. I've broken and ended a lot of bad cycles that just kept looping and looping and looping and looping. You know, I mean, I've told you that there were times my mother's and my relationship was very difficult. We always loved each other. We would fight from time to time, like, you know, most parents and their teenage kids would do. But a lot of times there was so much more to that. There was sometimes there felt like there was a true disconnect. And I think it was just my mom trying to teach me to be strong. What she didn't understand was that by trying to teach me to be strong, she actually couldn't see that I already was right, that I didn't have the strength, that I needed to find this strength. And turns out I had it all this time. Now, I know it kind of steps out of my lane when I say that I can communicate with my mom. All right? I have that gift. And I'm very grateful for that gift. It's not always one where I can tap into just anything, but I am grateful I can tap into her. Actually, I can pretty much tap into just anything. I just don't have the confidence, and I need that confidence. But I see now, and you know, in my meditations where I'm able to visit with her, I do understand now, and she understands, and we have this common ground now that, you know, she sees me. And this helps me move forward. This helps me move forward on my path. And, you know, again, for those who don't believe, it's okay. You could just say, hey, maybe I'm just working it out in my heart. But however you want to view the situation, this is what I want to say. Whether it's meditating, whether you do believe that you can contact, you know, loved ones, you know, even if you secretly believe that you can contact loved ones and, you know, you kind of outwardly think, oh, that's dumb. It's okay. Those are your thoughts. Those are your valid thoughts. And if it's something you choose to keep personal because you don't want to be judged, that's okay too. It takes a lot for me to come out here or come on here and just kind of share my views, because I know not everybody's going to understand it. I know not everybody's going to agree with it. And I know it will lose people, you know, but I used to be there. I was that person that said, oh yeah, whatever. But secretly I was kind of like, wow, that's the coolest thing ever. Then I stopped caring what other people thought, because it was hindering my growth. If it's not hindering your growth, you do you. All right. But for me, I have to be honest to share my experiences, because I think, one, it's going to help somebody out there come to terms with their own. And it's also going to show people that, you know, there's so much life around us that we cannot see. There's a whole veil life that we cannot see. And these people that come in and visit us, like angels, right? Your guardian angels, your spirit guides, who are your angels. And that's kind of where I feel like my mom and I are. She told me I broke the cycle, you know, and I think for me, that was something huge. Now, interestingly enough, a long time ago, when I first really kind of started this journey, baby sibling actually told me, she's all, if you keep going in the direction you're going in, you are going to break the cycle. And I forgot about that until right now. But, you know, she's a very keen gift of insight and foresight. And I'm proud. I'm proud of that. And because T kind of opened that door for me about my mom, I was able to do some more work on that and realize that the guilt that I had wasn't about being happy and not having my mom with me. It was about having this complete happiness and joy without any emotional pain, you know, and moving on and being able to do that. You know, my mom, for some reason, carried emotional pain throughout her life. I don't know. She was sick a lot when she was a kid. So, you know, she got bullied a lot when she was a kid. And, you know, she doesn't really talk much about her childhood. So I don't know a whole lot about her childhood. So, but whatever happened, when I think back and I kind of think about some of the things where it's like I'd ask her a question and she would just change the subject, there was emotional pain there. And whatever that emotional pain was from, it kind of twisted her into the person that she was. And I don't mean twisted in a bad way. It just she kind of went this way, you know, instead of staying on the path, she kind of just decided, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm just going to go this way and do my own thing. And she did use a lot of control in her own life, not over me. You know, I mean, she's my parent, right? So there is a certain amount of control parents have over their kids. But when I look back and I see it now, I understand a lot of the stuff that her and I had gone through. And that was something I had to heal. And that was something that I had to come to my understanding with, that it is okay for me to give myself permission to move forward without any baggage, to move forward without any anchors holding me back. Why the hell do I need anchors to hold me back for? No. Okay, if other people want to live their life like that, they can live their life like that. That's your choice. But I choose to not put the control lever so tightly wound in my life that I cannot open the doors to complete flow. And complete flow is positivity. Like I said, it is so much easier to be positive than it is to be negative. And I actually had to think about that, okay? I literally sat there and thought about that for 20 minutes or so, at least 20 minutes. How is it easier to be positive than negative? And then I thought, well, when you're negative, you know, you stay in this bad place, right? You just got angry, and then you might snap at somebody, or you might drop something, or you might trip over something, which makes you madder or angrier. And then, you know, you might go outside and drive and just, you know, maybe you get a ticket because you're not paying attention because you're being stupid and running red lights or whatever, or just doing dumb things. And look what happens. But if you had decided in that moment, take a deep breath, inhale, exhale, inhale as many times as you need to breathe. Don't hyperventilate, okay? But as many times as you need to breathe until you feel calm again. Isn't that a lot easier than carrying around this anger that could stretch even into the next day? You know? Isn't it easier than snapping at somebody who you now feel guilty for snapping at because you're transferring your anger or your pain onto them? Maybe you're hurting their feelings, and maybe they'll carry that for a while now, because now, like positivity, you're spreading your negativity. Except when you spread positivity, you spread it to other people and good things happen. When you spread negativity, you start pissing everybody else off, and everyone starts pissing that person off, and it's just a nasty ripple effect that turns into a tidal wave of stupidity. Don't go there. There are going to be times, yes, that you're going to be hurting, you're going to be sad, yes, you will probably be negative. Try to sit with it for as long as you can. Be angry about it, yell about it, scream about it, cry about it. Do whatever you have to do to get it out of your system. and then let it go. And for those days when it just escapes you and you go off and you're negative, try to bring yourself back as soon as you can. Okay, I'm not saying we're not going to have bad days. Obviously, we're going to have bad days. But try to let your positive days outnumber your bad days. Okay, try to let the good days outnumber the bad days. Try to let the positivity outnumber the negativity. And as you start to do this, you will find that more and more you will be gathering these tools. You know, if you want to go back, there is an entire month of videos on YouTube that I did for Self-Love December. Each one had the tools to bring you in. And yes, it says self-love, but self-love is a big part of staying positive. Self-love is a big part of finding that self-care, that self-respect, that self-worth, that self-enjoyment. Bringing that happiness into your life, that joy into your life, and learning how to combat the negativity. I never thought there could be a day where I could string more than one happy day together because I didn't think it existed. But it exists. I see other people doing it. Do they have bad moments? Yes. Do they have bad days? Yes. But the tools will give you the opportunity to turn that bad day into a learning lesson where you realize, okay, today was a bad day, but you know what? Tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow will be better. All right, so I did pull these cards, so let's try to get to these really quick. Conscious focus. What I focus on, I attract more of. See? I told you so. Just kidding. What I focus on, I attract more of. Starting with today, I will be more conscious of what I choose to spend time speaking or thinking of. I will do more of the things that bring me joy and see as more of these things begin to effortlessly flow into my life. Let me try that one more time. Conscious focus. See, eyeballs. Conscious focus. What I focus on, I attract more of. Starting with today, I will be more conscious of what I choose to spend time speaking or thinking of. I will do more of the things that bring me joy and see as many of these things begin to effortlessly flow into my life. Positivity. Bring the positive flow in. The better it gets. Happy cloud. The better it gets. When things happen that cause me to feel good, I know there are much more good feeling things coming my way. The better it gets, and I keep rising up. Okay, I have not looked at these, but so far they're hitting the nail on everything we talked about today, right? So the better it gets. Positivity brings in positive experiences and opportunities and people and etc. Subconscious mind. Ooh, this is where it starts. Right in there. I realize that subconscious beliefs or programs may be holding me back from my desires. For example, if I want money, I may have been told things growing up that I am subconsciously holding on to. So I go back to my past and release beliefs that no longer align, substituting them with ones that do. Okay? Don't let other people's beliefs limit you. Okay, do not be limited by other people's beliefs. Oh, well, only this happens to these kind of people, or only that happens to that kind of people. This or that can happen to you. But as long as you believe that it can only happen to other people, it is only going to happen to other people. Vibrate in your circle. Okay, put out that energy in your circle. Allow yourself to believe, to understand, and to know that you deserve whatever it is that you want in life. In the divine right way. Okay, you don't want bad stuff. Just remember, whether you're praying or manifesting, you're putting a vibration and a thought out there. And if you are praying, but you're not believing that you are going to receive it, or if you're manifesting and you're not believing you're going to receive it, you are not going to receive it. And why? Because subconsciously, you are putting out there that you will not be getting it. But what happens sometimes when you're angry? Well, I can't believe blah, 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 got this and that and the other. And then blah, blah, blah will probably get this, that, or the other because you're putting that energy out there. Try to refocus your energy, okay? Try to, it's like, I'm trying to think of the movie, but they're all like, when you think about it, it will manage to happen, right? Like, just put your energy towards that. I keep saying but obviously if I'm saying it, we're still learning it. But my point is, this. Whether you're praying or whether you're manifesting or doing a spell or whatever it is that you do that aligns with your beliefs, if you put the proper energy behind it, you're probably going to manifest it. And I say probably because a lot of times it may not be exactly what you want, but it'll be exactly what you need. This or something better. Okay, maybe there's a house or a human or something that you would like in your life. And maybe you're focusing all your mind on, one person because that's what you think you want. That's your ideal, right? Or a certain house because that's your ideal. That's the one you want. This or something better. Because that way, it's not so you're not disappointed. It's so that the universe, God, your source, whoever it is, again, that aligns with your beliefs, knows exactly what you want. And can bring you what is meant to be yours. If that house is meant to be yours, it'll be yours. If that person is in your pathway, it is going to happen. Anything that is meant for you in divine right will not pass you by. It will come to you as long as you let go of control and allow the things to flow in. And I say that in that voice because I've been the dumbass who has managed to push things away because I sit there and I ask for, I try to pray or I try to manifest. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I'm really not worthy of those things. I'm not a good enough person for those things. Maybe I don't deserve these things. Because I was limited by other people's beliefs that I latched onto. The old belief system that, only if you're good will God listen. No, God will listen to anybody. Okay, your source, the universe. It'll listen to anybody, but what it's really focusing in on is your heart and what you feel in your heart. If you're just asking with your brain and you're putting no energy behind it, you're just going to be floating, on a sea of calm with no waves, no nothing around to push you forward. Okay, so throw up that sail, start harnessing that energy, start harnessing that wind so that you can start moving through life. Don't hold yourself back. Pull up your anchor. All right? Casting spells. Well, that's interesting because I was just talking about that. That's cute with little hearts in it. I'm not even sure what that picture is supposed to be, but casting spells. The words I speak... I'm telling you, it's crazy how this stuff happens. Good morning, Ladina. Casting spells. The words I speak and the stories I tell are like spells. What I say and believe, I attract more of. So I shift my story from lack to abundance, from victim to empowered, and from complaint to gratitude. Now, when I speak to others through my words, I am casting beautiful spells. It doesn't have to be spells, guys. It can be manifestation. It can be prayers. Okay? This is just what the card is saying. Don't get hung up on the verbiage. Just get hung up on what the card is saying. And I kid you not. T and Laura watched me shuffle these cards and they just kind of flew out of the deck. So whatever has been said today, these cards are validating every single one of them. And again, so I'm going to read this again because I think this message is so important. The words I speak and the stories I tell are like spells. What I say and believe, I attract more of. So I shift my story from lack to abundance, from victim to empowered, and from complaint to gratitude. Now, when I speak to others through my words, I am casting beautiful spells. Remember, this or something better. You may be involved in something right now that may not be going the way you want it to, that may not be heading in the direction you want it to, or maybe it feels stagnant. When you start showing that you are living your own life and you're starting to do your own thing, sometimes it can bring that back into your life because something might say, or someone or whatever might say, whoa, do I really want to lose that? It's sometimes when, you're doing all this great work, but your boss doesn't appreciate you. And then they find out you're looking for another job. And all of a sudden, oh, wait, no, I can't lose this person. Maybe I need to be a better you might be the greatest boss on the business side on paper. But personally, being in your employees' lives and showing that you actually are on the same page as them, that can actually save the relationship you have with your employees, with your people. Okay? I always had a good relationship with my parents, even when it was difficult, because I knew they always had my back, no matter what. They may have done it in 2 different ways, but even now, I know my dad has my back. I know that he worries about me, and he knows I worry about him, and then we both get stubborn about it and tell each other, you don't need to worry about me, I'm fine. But we know better, right? Because we're dumb, and we're Lucases. But we feel inwardly, not outwardly. But I'm teaching him that, so... Oh, this is so... Projecting. Okay, this is the last card. Projecting. Oh my God, I love when I get this kind of validation. Rather than reacting and projecting my emotions onto others, I remember no one is to blame. No one is responsible for the emotions that I feel. When someone says or does something that brings up strong emotions within me, I have the choice in how I respond. I'm just going to take a moment to say this. There is a friend I have who is struggling in a personal relationship because it is just, one person is just so much negativity being just thrown at this one person. Okay, like I said, not my story, so I'm not naming names. But when, I was talking to somebody else who was actually relaying this story to me, and it is a mutual person that we know. But all I could think of was, this person who's being negative, it's transference. They can't yell at the person they're actually mad at, so they take it out on the person that is there. That's transference. That's, in a way it's projecting, but transference is, in my understanding, transference is when you take a certain pain that you feel for one person or thing or situation and shove it onto another, because you are literally blocked in that other area. Projecting is when you, again, and it's kind of the same thing. To me, there's a fine line and a very, very tiny difference between the two. But projecting is also when, say you had a bad drive home, right? It's like, oh God, that was the shittiest drive in the world. Traffic was a bear. I just wanted to be home. It took me 2.5 hours to get home. Now half my night is shot. And, maybe you have a roommate or a spouse or a family member that lives with you, or, maybe you live at home and, mom and dad come out. Hey, mom says, hey, I kept dinner warm for you. Well, I'm not hungry. This is stupid. And, you didn't have to do that. It's like, this person's literally showing you they care about you. And you're just like, right? That's also projecting. You are taking your bad mood and shoving it onto somebody else. Do not do that. Right? Do not do that. That is not fair. I have done it in my past. I tell you, it does not turn out well because you end up feeling guilty. And I have had to learn in my own way how to just take a deep breath. Sometimes older sibling will tell me that. She'll like take a deep breath and be like, and she's on, not a huff, a breath. Okay? Take a deep breath. All right? Sometimes I'll take a deep breath and then I'll huff, just, for good measure. Just cover all my bases. But don't project. All right? And if you have issues, don't transfer it. All right? Maybe we'll talk about transference later this week. That might be tomorrow's or Thursday's thing. It might even be a Self-Care Wednesday thing, because I think that would actually be a great subject for Self-Care Wednesday. All right? So I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much for hanging in there and for watching. I say hanging in there because we kind of winged it today, right? We didn't even get to the Aloha cards or the Rebel deck, but we will do those tomorrow. Maybe I'll pull the Rebel deck first as part of our, instead of the Aloha deck, we'll do the Rebel deck, because it's some saucy language in there, but it's fun, right? So again, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Happy Monday, everybody. Just go out there, knock your Monday out of the ballpark, and just have a good day. Find the joy in the day, right? As baby sibling has told me before, find the joy in every moment. When you can, find the joy in every moment, because you never know when it's going to be gone. You never know how long it's going to last. So just find the joy in every moment. All right. I will see everybody back here tomorrow for Tuesday Thoughts, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Facebook Live. These lives are public. Anybody can jump on and watch. Just look up my name, Shelly Marie Lucas, or you can catch the replay, usually up by or before depending on the circumstances, but usually 99% of the time, up by or before noon Pacific Standard Time on YouTube. And my channel there is the Aloha Perspective with Shelley Marie Lucas. So I hope everybody has a great day. If you do go to YouTube, click and subscribe, please. Please, pretty please. And I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.